Hello everybody, this is the second episode of my playthrough of the Lies of P DLC Overture. Right away, I'm gonna be starting to level up other of my skills that are not just vitality and technique, because I thought it was a good time. So I'll be doing Vigor, Motivity, and Advanced to level 20, and then continue again with the two main ones. I thought it would be a little balancing. Here to the right we have a future area that we cannot access yet. Seems circus themed. And to the left we have a garden with the next area that we're going to be going to, the greenhouse. We already know a little bit from the previous episode of who will be ahead in the greenhouse. We got to see a poster of her. We also discovered that we had traveled to the past, and that's why things looked a little bit different. And we also killed the first boss of the game. It was a giant crocodile. We got a little bit of lore on crocodiles about a guy who had taxidermied the giant crocodile that had killed his friend. So it was very on theme. The whole of Adventure within the Crad Zoo had that information for us. Now, moving forward on this episode, we're going to be going in the interior of the greenhouse. There's gonna be sort of a theme here. Lots of arch puppets.
This zoo is my domain, and you dare disturb it with your troublemaking, your ructions, your mischief. It's a wonder you got this far, but abandon all hope of leaving here alive.
As we know from the previous episode, Markiona was the creator of the arch puppet, so it does make sense that they are here. And then some alchemists as well, because she was related to the alchemist, and she even has like a letter to Manus, the Ouroboros letter that we found right outside the boss arena, on the way to the shortcut from the boss arena in the previous episode. If you think like, wow, they really made these robots hot, what's that about? Basically, we get to see from her attitude and the way she is later on, once we get to meet her in person, once we get to see her room as well, that there is a reason for the puppets being a little sexualized. She's a bit of an evil character, a bit of a sadist, I would say. So it's very much on purpose. There is certainly an aspect to her character where this all fits in. But it does make for a cool enemy, in my opinion. Dancing moves kind of style. It reminds me a little bit, funnily enough, to the Sifu ballerina enemy. Of course, fighting it here, it's much easier in my opinion. You can just press one button and live your life, queen. Instead of having to do all these combo moves and ups and downs to just, make your character move an arm or something. Anyway, right ahead we have another very annoying enemy, the guy with a bunch of bullets. He can suck it. This area wasn't too bad though. I thought it was quite manageable, and it was much shorter than the previous one. They never threw like 13 enemies in the same space, like at the pit in the previous area, the savannah. This is much more manageable. Of course, if you run past everybody, you might, if you start rolling around in panic and whatnot, you might have a little bit more complicated situations, but for the most part, it was quite manageable. I also like this enemy here right ahead. I think his little pointy poker, it's like a cane with a sword at the end. I think he's very cool. I love hitting them and seeing them fall to the ground as well. They appear in the base game and they're related to the alchemist, I think.
Whoa, get a look at this impressive handiwork. I've seen something like this before, but... Wait. Ever heard of the Legendary Stalker? If not, just keep going. I'll explain later.
An interesting thing here in the ground, if you notice, is that there is rose petals. As I'm going away, there is rose petals, and the rose petal is related to the Legendary Stalker. Of course, we know the Legendary Stalker from base game, but we're about to learn a lot more about them here in the DLC. We know from base game, from the memories of Harlow, or, you know, false memories of P, I guess, that both Carlo and Romeo studied under her, and that she left one day. I think they say in anger, but I don't remember well. And we also know, which is interesting, that Jiminy knows her in some way. Now, in the DLC, it is not explained their connection, or at least not in a way that I understood it, but maybe it is for later. She has in one of the memories she is with Jiminy, right? Something like that. This enemy in particular I find very scary. You can see I'm playing very defensively and not carrying well at all. It's pure fear what's coursing through my veins right now. The little electrical shoot, it seems like overkill to me. I do not see a reason why they would add an extra move like that to him who already has a bunch of moves that are very scary. What's the point? I have electrical shock now, and that's pretty much my death sentence. I die immediately, unable to parry anything. Now, although I did like this area, I also died quite a bit at it. It took me a few tries to sort of know how to manage the enemies. My first try was good, and subsequently I didn't pay as much attention to everything going around, so going back in, I died quite a few times, and I decided to cut ahead a little bit and save you the pain. I died a total of 4 times before I was able to come back to where I was originally, and this is that attempt. At one point I thought, I am never making it back. I can't do it. But I could do it, and these are the things I found useful to get back to where I was along the way. First of all, trying to separate the 2 arch puppets here at the beginning, because by the time that the second one sees you, you'll already be done with the first one. You don't want to have to figure out how to parry these 2 at the same time. You're fighting an uphill battle already if they get you that way. Good luck surviving. Then, for this one, very simple. Just, you know, approach her before she sees you much and land a parry or two. An interesting move that they have is when you hit them enough, they turn around. I really like that. For the next one, I tried to separate the arch puppet from the alchemist with a gun. I thought it was fairly easy because the alchemist with a gun was kind of slow in terms of what he could do. Now the time to not be impatient. Fighting our guy with the skinny poker. Ooh, that's that's the electrical guy that killed me originally. Anyway, all those deaths and all the impatience, it was all for this, right? So his move is very telegraphed. If you hit him from the back, you see you get to do a backstab right away. And that's pretty much it, if you have enough damage like I did. Now back to my death ground. I gotta pick up my ergo and try to kill this puppet while I'm at it. If you're in the killing animation, as you can see, things go through you. They won't really hit you with the balls. So another good reason to get those sneaky attacks. I'm playing the column. I have no shame to admit it. I'm a column player. But look what happens when I leave the column, you know? They both get me with their kick, they both get me with their balls. It's the safety of the column what makes me feel alive. And what probably kept me alive. I'm eating balls left and right. I don't have any excuses. I just seem physically incapable of not eating a whole entire bowl. But once that's done, in a moment, we get our rematch with Mr. Electric Guy, and that's what we were really needing all along. I thought it was best to cut the deaths before this because they were random. I just died to the enemies outside and a couple of times to the enemies outside, then one time to the skinny guy poker, and then this death over here to the same guys. There wasn't any particular learning lesson from it, you know, and fighting this now with much more confidence of hitting him and hitting him with a strong attack. He goes down really easily. Like I said, he's intimidating to me, but he's not the worst enemy. Pick your little ancient disc. I mentioned this before. It's an important item for a trophy, but you do not need every single ancient disc. Now, you probably want some of them to buy things very soon with them, but trophy-wise, only one is necessary, as long as you keep it to spend it on the specific record that will pop up, that you will need to spend it on. Keep that in mind. Here going on, we got another poker guy straight away waiting for us, doing all his moves, all of them at once. Obviously a great idea always to hit him from the back. Hit him from the back, you know what I meant. And there is that, and as soon as you kill one, there seems to be another. Well, he goes down very easy, and the string continues to be the best arm for that reason alone. Now try to fight that guy 1v1 without the string. It's just a lot of parrying, a lot of dodging. Not my tempo. Here to the right, before you even do anything, open your shortcut. You don't want to fight that guy without a shortcut, do you? Not me, at least. I thought it was for the best to go and sit down in my bonfire before attempting to box, because you can already see it's one of them boxers. And since my number is in blue at the top right of the screen, I can probably level up as well, a little bit. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to even out a little bit the other stats that I haven't quite used as much. I think that at a certain point, it is more useful than keeping on leveling up the same 2 stats, just because the increase is much larger at that point. But do as you made. If you're not in New Game Plus for some reason, especially if you're not trophy hunting, you probably have a lot less levels and the distribution is not gonna be as uneven as mine is right now. I also had a run of the entire game in a single day, so I wasn't paying a lot of attention to my build and I was just completely honed in the 2 stats that I needed for my weapon. Obviously there is some things that could be tweaked. Now, moving on to the star of the morning. I don't know how you fight these. I try to run away and wait for them to finish a move and then do things like this. Try to chain a couple of attacks. Obviously, it did not happen for me this time around, but you know, you live and you learn. Oh well, get good, right? Moogie, get good. Are you typing that in chat? I miss reading the goobery that you guys would say to me. Honestly, it's kind of sad because I don't know if you will even see this while I'm recording it. It's a strange feeling. I don't know. It's like they say, you don't know your audience. It's like I don't know exactly who I am doing this for right now. But I'm trying to do it to make myself happy, I guess, and that's the best I can do, right? You know, a little sidetrack. Back to our guy. See, this is the type of thing that I was telling you. Just a 1-2. Don't do too much. Get your heal back up and try to survive, which I'm not doing a whole lot there. Try to survive and try to not get greedy. The grab was very telegraphed there, right? That time I got it. Anyway, give him some space. Don't, you know, it's 2 hits all it takes. That was a good opportunity to go in. I got scared and I went away. But I keep thinking, if I get a little more greedy, I'll get a critical sort of attack and I'll be able to do it. You know, it pays off. Sometimes. You see? I just did it by the tippy tip of my of my chinny chin chin. I'm sorry. Okay, he drops something important. An emergency directive number 1. Let's read it. This is an emergency directive from the order, set to the highest priority. Intelligence gather indicates that a puppet currently heading to Crad Zoo could significantly affect the order's plans. Specific details cannot be shared, but the leaders have confirmed the continued autonomous operation of the target poses a significant threat to our future. Markiona, the alchemist under her command, are hereby ordered to stop the target's advance at all costs. Any puppet acting alone must be considered a threat. And that's the emergency directive number 1. Now, when you read that, you might think, are they talking about us? How do they know about us? We just got here. Actually, I don't think specifically about us. And the part where it says that any puppet acting alone, it's also interesting to me, because that would mean that the person we are looking for is also a puppet. But maybe it is about us and the person. Maybe it's a double whammy, but maybe not. Alright, going up these steps here, we have beams that contain treasure. This is one of those times that I wish I had known how to jump. But luckily there was also just like, oh, you can walk to it. I don't know, it was very confusing to me. I have forgotten half the buttons half the time that I was playing this, and I think it reflects very clearly in the playthrough. Forgive me for that. Maybe it makes it funner for you guys to watch in some sicko way. We get to more arch puppets, and it's just a crowd control sort of thing. Don't advance too much. Don't join them together, just one at a time. I'm going back to check if that was the main way or not. Yeah. Seems like for now, this is the right way to go. It's a linear game that continuously gives me the impression that it is not linear. I mentioned this in the previous episode. We're killing all the hotties. We're trying to parry their kicks. It's a hard knock life out here. We can't even risk them, and we're both puppets, am I right? Can you imagine little Carlo, little Timmy? We have a little end of a walkway over here. Obviously, we're gonna do a little exploring, right? I was telling you earlier that they turn around when you hit them enough like that, and you get to stab them in the back. I thought that was very cool. It was a grindstone cutting capsule. What was here at the end? You can completely skip this part if you don't want your capsule. I don't think it's important to any trophies or anything. Now, the whole time we're gonna be going higher and higher and higher in the greenhouse until we reach an exit towards the boss arena. That's pretty much it. I was robbed of my backstab with this guy, but alas, he wouldn't get the satisfaction. Make sure you check the circular area here, as at the end of it there is a little secret, but there is also one more of these guys. He doesn't have a ton of health, but neither do I. He gave me one little slash and I had to heal. So I went back for revenge and I used my ult on him. It's not called an ult, but it's funny to say that it is an ult. Let's pick what this was. Just a Fable catalyst. You can completely ignore it if you don't want it. and just go up the stairs and continue on. This one is a little hard to crowd control, so do your best if you have the string or anything to at least take down one puppet before the other puppet is right on you. There is a magician one, and there is also another dancing one. Try to do the string here. You don't want to have to deal with them both at the same time, and no heals because you haven't been to a healing spot in a while. That's my best advice. Sometimes the balls get caught in the fence, and consider that to be a blessing. And if you're lucky enough, like I was, you'll get through it very fast. There is an ergo crystal, dim one. I don't know if that's worth it. I don't know how much it gives you exactly. Then you go up one more step and you get to the bedroom of the lady that we're about to fight, Markiona.
Everything I'm seeing makes me think this room belongs to a master puppeteer.
The master puppeteer that discovered the miracle, right? There was something here in this cage. It's just a red ribbon that someone dropped. It's a reference to something.
This is a message for Markiona, my sadly not departed friend. Important matters brought me to your door. I am searching for my lost apprentice. And it should come as no surprise that I thought you or your other alchemist fiends had taken him. I hope you don't mind, but I made a mess of your lackeys as I passed through. If you do, consider it partial payment for what happened to my other apprentice. As soon as I am able, I shall return to collect your remaining debt. Until then, take care not to die. From Leia, Florence, Monad.
Okay, so we are definitely, absolutely, irrefutably in the past. Unbelievable. The Leia Florence. She's the one they call the Legendary Stalker. Story is, she went missing a long time ago, in Krot, as it happens, but here she is, still building the legend. And between Markiona and Leia, I know who we're siding with. We still don't know why we're here, but maybe we're here to meet the Legendary Stalker.
That was a great message. It revealed a couple of things. First, the name of the Legendary Stalker, our mentor, Leia. And also that Leia is looking for her other apprentice, which we know to be Romeo, but that Markiona was the one who killed Carlo originally. I feel like it is heavily implied, and that Leia intends to come back for Markiona. So in this fight that we have ahead, we are taking vengeance upon ourselves without even knowing, in a very poetic sense. That I feel like that really makes the fight worth it and cool for me. We're in a matter of, you know, wrong place, right time kind of thing. Again, going up on vigor a little bit before I proceed to the boss. I thought this boss was very well done for everything I hated the first boss. I thought this second one was much funner, a great sort of gimmick, if that's the word. Yeah, I like the duality of it. Let's watch the intro though.
I was told that murderous puppet had come to call on me. So who is this handsome guest standing before me? It matters not. You belong to me now. You're not the puppet I was expecting.
The vibes are amazing here. You can see that she's sort of a wizard lady, right? And her puppet is... Every time she wields red, her puppet will attack, and every time it wields sort of blue, her puppet will be defensive and she will attack, kind of thing. It's a very complex battle. It certainly had a learning curve for me. I was here for a little bit, hour and a half or so, I would say. Obviously, I will not put you through the pain. I think one of the things that helped me not be a longer battle is that right away I realized that she was the main focus because she was controlling the puppet to move. She was the main focus of the battle, so I tried to learn her moves and just sort of like, oh, here's the puppet, kind of deal with it as you go. Some things obviously were necessary to be learned from the puppet, but in general I focused on her. Every so often she will stagger as well and give you an opportunity to attack. If by any chance you kill the puppet, which is not necessary, you also get an opportunity to attack her a little bit, though she will not be staggering that one. And yeah, that was my first attempt. If you are a person who dislikes the way that characters talk every time that you die, you will not enjoy this particular fight. She talks a lot and she says the same thing every time that you come in and every time that you die, more or less. She has like 2 phrases. So I recommend you come in with most of your patience and you try your best so that you can get out of here pretty quickly. I really liked the fight. I don't know what to tell you. It was everything that the crocodile was in. Remember to proc your weapon, by the way. I used fire. Seemed good enough for both of them, in my opinion. It changed a lot of the fight for me because I was doing a lot more damage, and once she's procced, she's at least getting some of that damage away. Try not to get yourself in a corner too much. Try to also keep them both in sight if you can. I would say for the puppet, the main move that you have to be concerned about is the phase transition. That's one that you should prioritize to learn for sure from the puppet. And also the across the distance she comes like a shooting star kind of thing. You should avoid that one as well. It's quite heavy for no reason. Regarding her moves, she does magic pretty much. She mainly has balls that she plays with. Go figure what that's supposed to mean. There is a blue balls attack that she crashes a bunch of them. in the ground. There is one that sweeps around. That both of those you can get away pretty much and just let her be. Ignore her, I guess, for those. If you feel confident enough to perfect parry, it will increase her stagger meter though, for sure. And she has the slap one that is a very good opportunity at the end to hit her, and the jump one into the ground, which is also a good opportunity to hit her. If you're controlling both her and the puppet positioning, you'll find a lot of ins. In phase 2, however, it will be a matter of skill and luck. Be very careful with the swirling blue balls. That is a grab.
I had no rival beyond Leia. It should have been the two of us, locked in a fight to the death.
And when she lands, she's always a little weakened from that, so that was my opportunity to finish her off. Great boss, very enjoyable. It gets you a trophy, the Puppeteer of Death. We get now to her key, which is what we needed to proceed to the next area. Her key says, a key shaped like a bizarre puppet. Its design reflecting Marchiona's taste. It unlocks the next door in the zone under her control. I dominated all beings that I touch. This was Marchiona's pride and conviction, but even she couldn't have anticipated that someone beyond the reach of her string would dare destroy her domain. Anyway, let's listen to what Jiminy has to say.
We got a key from Marchiona. Hey, I bet it opens that gate we passed before entering the greenhouse. This place is definitely a dead end, and since Leia's not here, let's go back.
We're traveling back outside of the garden where we started. It's like we did no progress today. Right where we started this episode, and we will be continuing to a new area in the next one. This was all for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed the fight. It wasn't very good. It wasn't very skilled. I didn't struggle a whole lot. I didn't get to learn everything and sort of, do my best in the fight. I feel like towards the final fights, it was a lot more requiring of precision, I guess. I felt like this was very forgiving, but it was very enjoyable for me, and I enjoyed recording this. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you next time with episode 3. We'll be exploring a circus, if you're into that. Anyway, take care. See you soon. Bye bye. Mwah, 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 mwah.